Hello, my friends, and welcome to News of the Week. England's Labour government have proposed a plan to ban smoking outside of pubs. How much more cringe can this world become? The amount of cringe has reached hyperinflationary cringe levels. Somebody hacked into my Twitter account and gave their take on this for some reason. I don't know why, but whoever it was, absolutely some disgusting thoughts on the issue. You are no longer allowed to smoke outside pubs, this person writes. But the fat bastards who stuff their faces plod around free as ever. Fat bastards should be banned from eating. Ozempic should be mandatory for all, and gastric bands should be provided for chubby babies who have not yet learned to walk. This, after all, was how we tackled COVID. And if the government put the same effort into fat shaming as they did into vax shaming, then the world would be a much lighter place. Instead, they employ teams of writers with taxpayer money to conceive all sorts of euphemisms when referring to the size of the spherical. Bigger is one such euphemism. Bigger than what, I ask? An American-style fridge freezer, perhaps? A Nissan Micra? Plus-sized is another. The government must secretly be Buddhists, because to say fat or obese is to blaspheme the one they worship. I want to categorically state that I do not call for a fatwa on fatties. Instead, I advocate the installation of bars at the entrance to all McDonald's restaurants with human-sized gaps in between. Only those who can enter can enter. This simple measure solves this ever-expanding problem, and in my view is the only way to displace our gelatinous, overfed overlords once and for all in the continued spiritual fight between good and evil. That is a disgraceful piece of writing. Obviously remarkably well written, Swiftian levels of satire there, but nevertheless despicable. What this piece does is it supposedly calls out a double standard in healthcare, guys. The argument goes that either bad health is good or bad health is bad, but some bad health can't be seen as bad and some bad health seen as good. And you might say, well, with COVID, it was a contagious disease, and so therefore it affected the entire society, and so therefore the shaming was appropriate. And cigarettes produce second-hand smoke, which is all of our business. But these thinly veiled fat phobes, excuse the pun, would argue that the fat community equally affect all of us. They take up space on planes, so then there's more flights. So then our planet has to suffer the effects of climate change. You have to look at them. They eat up all the food. So the food gets really expensive, which exacerbates the cost of living crisis. Nonsense, nonsense, nonsense. There have been calls for an investigation into Ticketmaster pricing after Irish Oasis fans are left infuriated by €415 standing tickets. Somebody again hacked into my profile and said, $4.15 is peanuts. You can't be poor financially and have poor taste in music. It's simply too much poverty. And they've attached this image of a classic 90s troker box. The scarcity of tickets has led older fans to complain that they kind of may miss out because of sort of younger, half-arsed, less dedicated fans. And I kind of get what they're saying, because a lot of girls nowadays just go to events to post it on Instagram. The Oasis concert will simply be a vehicle for the Instagram outfit. You know that kind of way? This guy Norton on TikTok goes, imagine waiting 15 years for Oasis to reform only to lose out on tickets to Chloe 20, Fiat 500 driver from Stockport who just wants to hear Wonderwall live. And guess what? Anais Gallagher, Noel's daughter, Liam's niece, weighs in on this kind of rhetoric. She says, one thing I won't stand for is the ageism and the misogyny about people getting tickets. Sorry if a 19-year-old girl in a pink cowboy hat wants to be there. I will have my friendship bracelets ready. Wow. This is a huge development. This gives off the impression that Anais Gallagher, Noel's daughter, Liam's niece, is running the new Oasis tour. She says she won't stand for misogyny and ageism. And I feel like the Oasis fans should be kind of told that this is going to be the vibe of the new tour. And I think when they do find out, it'll be two birds, one stone, because nobody's going to want to go. Because all good rock and roll is built on misogyny. The institution that Oasis was built on her father and her uncle's dickhead antics.
Can we have some press, please, on this screen? Bird, pull your top up, let's have them out for the lads.
But presumably, with Anais now in charge, if there's any misogyny, the tour is cancelled. She's talking about friendship bracelets. I mean, is she Taylor Swifticizing Oasis? She's like Kim Jong-un. And some people will complain that she shouldn't have this much power to sort of redefine an institution based on sort of fashionable whims of today. Considering by the time her father was 24, the most influential thing he'd written was Live Forever. And that now that she's 24, the most influential thing she's written is this TikTok comment, which has 577 likes. But guys, that's also due to misogyny. You know, they're being shackled down. So you got to keep thinking about this because it's all in the structure of society and shit. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching News of the Week. Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.